Run it. This one the hit, yo. Lady Sarojini. Bless up everyone. This is Trident Ben from Jamaica here representing for the host, Lady Sarojini with the Caribbean Connection Show. Hey, Panwa 93.5 FM CHMR 11. Pardon me, I'm a criminal, so get on your searching. But let me tell you though, if you never know, I'm an island man with an African culture. No drugs, no in my bag. You like a Lego, yeah. Your bumper is a magnet. I stick on like a magnet.
Yeah, it's magnetic. Join Sarojini on Caribbean Connections, Thursdays at 1. Walk through the sands with poetry from our great leaders and academics. Jive with us to soca, reggae, chutney, and calypso. Get your current cricket results, meet special guests, and more. Every Thursday, 11:30 Eastern, 1 p.m. Newfoundland time.
Don't give up the fight. Preacher man, don't tell me heaven is under the earth.
Hey, it's Matt Davis.
I'm Jackson.
And I'm Matt Lang.
You're listening to Caribbean Connections with Sarojini at CHMR Radio 93.5 FM, Bell Alliance 787, Rogers Cable 942, and CHMR.ca.
Stand up for your right. Come on, get up, stand up. Stand up for your right.
Hey, welcome to Caribbean Connections on this glorious day. We want to thank you for tapping into today's program where we have a very special guest, Danny Earles, and we're going to learn all about this track star from Memorial University here in Newfoundland, Canada. But first, we want to thank all of you for listening from near and far in the island of Newfoundland and in Labrador, in Toronto, Regina, Saskatoon, Calgary, on the Sunshine Coast, Roberts Creek, in beautiful British Columbia, and in Maple Ridge, Vancouver, and crossing over to Connecticut, New York, Washington, and again over the ocean to Warnemünde and Berlin, Germany, New Delhi, India, and big up in the Caribbean in Guyana, Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, Jamaica, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Lucia, Jamaica, Belize, and to all of you, my beautiful people in the Caribbean, welcome. We can't wait to have you listen to this awesome chat between Danny Earles and myself, Sarojini, the host of this awesome program. And yes, I get to say that. Caribbean Connections. But first, we're going to kick off today's episode with a great track by Aswad, Shine.
Come on and shine, shine like a star, shining so bright, like the star that you are. Oh, shine into the future, spreading your light wherever you are.
Hello, hello. Welcome to Caribbean Connections, and I am your host, Sarojini. Today in our virtual studio on a very warm day after some heavy winds from Hurricane Elsa, we have here in our virtual studio with us Danny Earles, rising track star, or we should say track star. And we're going to have a great big discussion or a good chat with him, talk about how he got to this point, what he's studying, and everything in between. So without further ado, let's give it up for Danny Earles. Hey, Danny, welcome to Caribbean Connections.
Hi, Sarojini. Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
Our pleasure, Danny. I'm really happy you took the time. I know you're a very busy guy, but let's start at the beginning. Look, we've known each other for a long time. You've been to elementary school, Topsail Elementary, then Villanova Middle School, and Holy Spirit High with my son and quite a few of the boys. We all know. So we've been through a lot. We've seen you guys around for a long time. So I want you to tell me a little something about yourself, what you want our listeners to know about you.
What I want our listeners to know about me is that I'm really dedicated to my sport. I'd like to have fun and just enjoy life, day by day.
Awesome. Now, I know going back the years, and let's see, we can go back as far as 2007 when all you boys started getting into sports. And I think I met you through soccer. But before that, actually, you all were taking the confirmation classes together. Right. You became friends gradually. Everybody were new to everything, really. And so here you are playing soccer, and I think you played a lot of other sports right up until the end of high school. So talk a little bit about the sports you've played and how they influenced your life.
Yeah, so first sport I was in was Taekwondo, and I really enjoyed that, and I ended up giving that up when I started soccer in I think second grade, and then since then I've just been flat out with sports. I have not stopped, and I love it. So I started soccer in grade 2, and I played it all the way up into grade 11. I also played frisbee throughout high school. I really enjoyed that. Basketball, volleyball, lots of sport. A bit of hockey too. So definitely a lot of the sports have definitely shaped where I am as an athlete today. Without a doubt.
That's fantastic. Now, we're going to focus on your track career here. And I know you did some track in high school as well, but currently you're also studying at Memorial University. So I want you to tell our listeners what you're studying there and give us the story behind how you got into track.
Yeah, I'm studying business administration at MUN, and I really enjoy it, and I can't wait to graduate. And how I got into track, so it's a pretty funny story. So for our high school, we didn't have a single athlete sign up for the track team, and my gym teacher just see me running around in class and said I was fast, and there we go. And he said, "Man, you got to sign up." I didn't even want to. I didn't want to at all, but they made me do it, and here I am, and I love it now. So I'm really glad I ended up doing that. So after my first races, those were the high school championships. That was in June of 2019, just before we graduated. So after my 200-meter race, the coach for the Memorial University team came up to me, and she asked if I wanted to start training with the team, and I was, without a doubt, I wanted to, and never thought that opportunity would come just from doing a race, with no experience or anything. In the race, I remember in the 100 meters, there was the girls' junior high was right before us, and I went in the blocks, and I didn't even change them from what they had, and my feet were completely together, and I was talking to people asking if they've ever done this before, and then I crossed the finish line, and I was in first. I was really surprised. Yeah, and then since then, the race was a Saturday, and then that Monday, I started training with Memorial 5 to 7 times a week, and since then, I've been nonstop, really. Even with COVID, I got to practice together where we did virtual workouts. I went out and I shoveled the track off at Pro Gate with an icebreaker. It took a while, but it's what I had to do. And, some road runs and everything like that, just staying to it.
Wow, that's a great story, Danny. And who would have thought you running around in class would end up being a great track career, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I know sometimes we doubt our abilities, and it takes others to kind of give us that push and inspire us to move on. And here you are, you're doing great in track at Memorial. You're doing a lot of workouts, which we'll get into a little later. But just that one little encouragement, or big encouragement from the gym teacher, is what led you to where you are today, right?
Just one little thing can change your whole life, really. Because my life has completely changed. I took sports seriously, but I was mainly in it just to have fun and just compete with my friends and stuff. But here it is now, I'm taking a sport really seriously, so hopefully I can go to the Olympics in 4 to 5 years,
So what I want to ask you, and I mean, the training schedule for everybody is certainly different.
Right.
And I know that you've got early morning training and so on. Tell us a bit about how you train to be where you are today. And you mentioned about going to the Olympics, which is fantastic. I certainly think you can do it. But give us an idea now, an insight into how you train and how you go about doing everything else to be the track star that you are.
Right. Well, track's not an easy sport, and it's a sport where if you're talented, you can be good, but you're never going to get to the next level. You got to work hard. It's a sport where you got to put the work in, day out, and you got to have your whole life surrounded by it, and you got to make sure you stick to it. So, for example, during the week, so Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays and Sundays, I'll do workouts. And so usually 6 in the morning, I'll wake up. Even if I don't want to, I'll get myself out of bed.
Sure.
And I'll head to the gym. I'll get that done. Usually then I'll head to work. So I work at the track as well. So I'll head to the track, and then they let me do my workouts while I'm working, which is really nice because sometimes I can't make practices. That really helps. And so typically then after that, sometimes I'll have practice in the evening. Other things is one thing that's really important is learning how to eat properly too. When I was just eating McDonald's and just eating whatever, I didn't really care. Before I got in track, wasn't really too concerned with keeping my body. I was in good shape, but I wasn't in great shape. But I had to learn how to eat. And I never thought you'd have to eat so much. I thought I had to eat less, but just got to eat a lot of food, and you got to schedule out your whole meal for the week. It's expensive too because healthy food isn't cheap, but you got to get that in you. And sleep is super important. I had a terrible sleep schedule. I'm still not the best, but sleep is really, really important for performance.
Danny, just to touch on a couple of very important points that you just mentioned, you talked about the diet,
right,
meaning eating well, and sleep. And I know teenagers, and we all did it, we love McDonald's, all these fast food chains, we want to go there. So tell us a little bit about how, if you want to, how you're eating now, what types of food, and who trained you or who helped you to learn how to eat better.
Okay, so at Atlantic Pro Sports, which is the gym I go to, there's a dietitian there, and her name's Jennifer. She's a really nice lady, and she basically taught me everything I know about it. And so some foods I'll eat, so a typical morning, let's say I wake up at 9, I will have my shower, and then I'll have a glass of water. And then for breakfast, I'll have about 2 eggs, 2 slices of bread, a banana, smoothie, some chocolate milk. It's hard to get it in you in the morning, but you have to. Breakfast is a super important meal, and then maybe 2 hours later I'll have lunch. I could have a chicken wrap, maybe some more chocolate milk. I'm a big chocolate milk guy. Gotta make sure you have some meat, some grains. You gotta make sure you have a well-balanced diet. You're not just eating the same thing, because you could be eating a bunch of protein, but that's not all you need. You need carbs. Really, really big thing for me is I love pasta. Just really easy to eat. It's good for you,
Do you go out and get all these things for the week? You make sure you have it all handy. And are you making all of these yummy, yummy foods, Daddy? Spill the beans.
So I make a lot of the food but not all of it. I'd say most of it my mom does. My wonderful mother. She'll go out and get the things I need. I'll usually give her a list or just some little things I need to get, and she'll pick it up for me, which is, I'm really appreciative for that. Yeah, she helps. She definitely does more than I do.
Yay to moms.
Yeah, yay to mom.
Good super moms out there.
Yeah, she's a super mom, that's for sure.
How are you finding it now? You've been with the dietitian a while, and you've been eating well, and like you said, breakfast, super important meal. Do you find it's getting easier with your diet, eating healthily, and also your sleep pattern? How are you finding this schedule?
Well, I find it a lot better. Sometimes I wouldn't eat before practice, and it'll just eat away at you, you know? Like, you have to fuel your body, because, like, food is our gas, like it is for cars, you know? Sometimes you have to time when you're going to eat your fuel, right? Like, when you're going to fuel yourself. Like, if you eat, you know, half an hour before or something like that, and you're going out and running as hard as you can, like, it's probably going to come out in your mouth, you know? Like, it's not good, but you just got to figure out different ways, different times, and what to eat and what not to eat the right and wrong time, right?
Do you stick to the schedule very strictly? Like, I mean, you wake up at the same time, you eat certain things for breakfast, certain things for lunch, dinner. What if you get caught up or you're late? Is there a leeway, room for these types of accommodations?
Yeah, I mean, it happens. Like, I definitely don't stick to it like 100% all the time, because, you know, I'm working a lot and I'm out and about, you know, and not everything's going to go to plan every day. There's going to be something, you know, it's not everything's going to stay to schedule. But, you know, sometimes I'll keep a lot of food with me just in my car, or, you know, like, I usually bring a couple smoothies around with me a day, and I'll keep them at work, because I find smoothie, I'll put, like, some oats in it, like, you know, some dragon fruit, mango, pineapple, and some strawberries and orange juice, and they definitely keep me going for sure.
Oh, that all sounds yummy.
Oh, it's so good.
Healthy, and also, it certainly sounds like it could energize you. No?
Yeah, definitely. I find it, like, sometimes, you know, it's hard to eat like a lot of food. Sometimes you just don't want to eat something heavy, but you need food, so just get back a smoothie and it goes down really easy.
In response to what you said about the smoothie, and I know there are many places selling smoothies, but just for our listeners, what would you say comprises a healthy smoothie in your case?
Okay, so a healthy smoothie would be a balance of like multiple different foods. So like you definitely want some fruit in there. Then, you know, maybe you need some dairy and protein, so you can get maybe some Greek yogurt, put that in there, some oats, some juice, you know. It's pretty much like, you don't want to put too much in it. You can also get like spinach or anything like that, you know.
That's fantastic. Well, you know, my kids too, you know them both, yes. Matthias and Renata, they've gotten us into healthy smoothies. But we're going to take a very quick break to listen to some PSAs and station IDs. And we'll be right back with you, Danny, to talk more about your track career here and Memorial University. Hang tight, folks. Don't go away. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Rob Trainer from Blackwater Rising, and you're listening to CHMR FM 93.5, Newfoundland's only alternative.
This cage they built for me is unable to contain one newsman.
Every second, someone flees their home due to natural disasters. The Arctic ice that regulates our planet's weather is vanishing. That means floods, famine, and more are on the rise. But there's a simple solution, and you have the right to know. My name is Parvati. Please join me in creating a healthy future with MAPS, the Marine Arctic Peace Sanctuary. Get involved at parvati.org, Parvati.org. It literally means the world.
If you wake up this Sunday morning with no money in your pockets and a pounding in your brain, chances are you overdid it Saturday night. So tune in to 93.5 CHMR FM for your perfect prescription of medicinal music lovingly mixed to help ease the most wretched of post-Saturday night overindulgences. It's the Sunday Morning Hangover Cure, every Sunday, 10 a.m. and only on 93.5 CHMR FM. And if nothing else, it'll make it a little easier to get out of bed on a Sunday morning.
I'm lying here, I won't get up,
The end is near, this is where it stops, and the ceiling over me is the last thing I'll ever see.
When we dancing, hey, you are my king, I'm your queen. We don't have nobody in between.
Live from Toronto, this is DJ Eruption. You're listening to Sarojini from Caribbean Connections. Peace out.
Then you hold my bumper and grind slow, deep bass.
Hey, welcome back, folks. Today in our virtual studio, we have Danny Earles, track star here at Memorial University of Newfoundland. And we're going to continue with this beautiful chat, as I like to call it. And Danny is now going to focus on his coach. So welcome back, Danny, and we're going to talk about your wonderful coach here at Memorial University.
All right, so my coach is Jennifer Stender. She's a wonderful lady. She's like a second mom to me, because a lot of the times, she has to get me to listen, and she's not afraid to say anything to me, and that's what you need as an athlete. You need a coach that's 100% straight up with you, and they're gonna tell you what you're doing wrong and what you're doing right, because she holds me all like I have to stay obligated to what I'm doing, and she holds me to it. For example, my first year, I wasn't near as dedicated as I have been the past 2 years. Like, I knew I was good, and I think I was a little bit full of myself, to be honest. And there's a lot of stuff where I wasn't doing what I had to do, and she had a big chat with me. It was just you gotta let go of some stuff. You gotta nothing's gonna come. It's not gonna come easy. So I had to make a lot of sacrifices for sure. They weren't big ones, but they may be big to you.
Awesome. So when you said she's like a second mom, and we know, and you know too from experience, many years in sports, your coaches do become very close to you. So when she had the heart-to-heart with you about doing the right thing, and you said you were full of yourself. Look, we all go through this. So tell us how you reacted to that.
I knew she was right. It took me a while just to really take it and swallow my pride a little bit, but I took it well, and it was something I needed to hear. Because if no one had to say it to me, maybe nothing would have changed, right? Because sometimes it's hard to do things yourself, and you got to hear it from someone else, just how they see it, right?
So Danny, tell us one thing, if you want to, that she told you that you really took to heart and did.
So I guess one thing was, I did go out a lot with my friends on the weekends. I'd be getting no sleep. Maybe sometimes I'd miss practice or something, and that's not gonna get you anywhere. And I had to sacrifice a lot of time. I can't be doing a lot of things like going out with my friends all the time, because if I'm taking this seriously, you can't have one foot in the door. You have to be completely submerged in it. You gotta just 100% all in. If I want to go to the Olympics, I can't just do 50% of the work I need to do, or even 75. You got to do 100%. You got to live like an Olympian every single day.
If I may say so, that's excellent advice, and I know you certainly took it to heart, and you did what she told you to do to be where you are today. And you just said sacrifices have to be made. I'm glad you listened. And I know we chatted earlier, and your coach, Jennifer, she has many accolades to her name, is a wonderful coach. So I want you to tell us a little bit about her background here, Jennifer, coaching you here at Memorial University.
Right. So Jennifer is one of our two coaches. So she coaches all the runners, and there's a lot of different kinds of running. There's distance, there's short sprints, long sprints, middle distance, and she does it all. It's amazing how she can do that all. Her background, I think she's been coaching the MUN team for maybe 10 years, so she's seen lots of athletes come and go, and I'm sure she's learned a lot from just coaching different people, because everyone has their own little things, right? She's the 400 meter record holder for Newfoundland for women's, so that's my primary event, I would say. And the fact that, she was the best to ever do it from here, I wouldn't say there's anyone better to coach me right now. And, she probably went through a lot of stuff I am, because the 400 is, in my opinion, probably one of the hardest events in track and field, because, you gotta run it like it's a sprint, but at the end you are picking your legs up. Like recently I had a race and it was like 30 meters left and I was at 43 seconds and I ended up screwing up my whole last part of my race just because I just couldn't bring my legs up, and like some stuff like that where you got to go in and train like speed endurance. I have to go out and I'll probably throw up, I may not want to finish the workout. I'll be on the ground and it hurts, but the pain definitely like, it's worth it, when you win for a victory and stuff like that.
Wow, that's fantastic, Danny. And it really sounds that she has certainly inspired you a lot, huh? Now, you're training with other MUN students. So tell us a little bit about that and what inspires you being with these athletes, like-minded thinkers, and everybody vying to be number one in whatever area they want to be. How do you feel about being with this awesome group of folks?
Yeah, they're a great group of people. So it's really good when people are motivated, dedicated to the sport, because at practice, like that energy is going to radiate, like it'll spread around. And some days maybe I'm out there and I don't want to be there. I don't want to run. And for example, I have a friend, Harshal. He's a really good friend of mine, and he's great at motivating me. He's really good with his words, and he can always get me hyped up, just to go out and get something done. He's really good for that. I got another friend, Ben. He's recently committed to the University of Windsor, so congratulations to him. First year, he taught me a lot of things, just about running, like what I had to do and how I had to live it, and, how I have to, like, be focused all the time. He's like, my big problem of mine is not being focused. I get distracted super easily and stuff like that, but Ben was huge for me for that. Another guy, Nick, he's a really good friend of mine. He's a genius, super smart guy, and he's helping me with school and staying on task, because as a student athlete, you're not just an athlete, you're a student too, and it's not easy to go to 5 to 7 practices a week and then do 5 courses as well, right? It's not easy, but we all do it somehow. It's definitely good to have those people around.
Wow, Danny, that really sounds like an amazing group of folks, and I could see how they can really inspire you. One thing I'm just curious about, what's the age group of the students you're training with? And if you know, what is their discipline of study at MUN? I mean, you can give us something general, right?
Yeah, so the age groups, it's like 18 to, it could be 25, probably the oldest. So some of the guys, like I got an older guy on the team, he was really good he knew a lot about it, and he was like really knowledgeable. That helps having the older guys in the team, like the veterans, because they've been through it all. They can teach you like what you don't know, and it's good to have like those figures on your team. Like when I first joined, I was 18. I was the youngest person on the team the whole year, and I was the rookie, but it's nice having like some older people for that.
Oh, absolutely. So can I correctly say some of them were like mentors to you, even though they were around the same age group?
Yeah, 100%. They're like mentors, like older brothers, pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely. So being with this fantastic, talented group of athletes, and you mentioned earlier when you first came on board, you were not as disciplined. And that's not saying it in a bad way. We all have to go through the learning curve, the growing pains. We have to learn how to do this thing right. So how did you get to the point of saying, I got to take this seriously? Was it a combination of the coach and the team and other things? Tell us a bit about that.
Well, it's definitely a combination of many things. So my coach was huge, my teammates, and just the fact that I just don't like losing, and I just never want to lose again. Like, because like the thing is, like, you could think you're working hard, but there could be someone working harder than you, and as an athlete, and if you really, really, really want to win, you don't want anyone to be working harder than you. You don't want to have any regrets. You don't want to go one day where you're thinking, okay, I should have done that. If you could have done it, like that can be a big regret, and because those things do take a long way. You got to form good habits, and you got to stick to it 365 days of the year.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. And like they say, hard work pays off, and I think you're seeing that, right?
Yeah, and a really good quote is hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Yeah, it's a really good quote, because I think, I'm a pretty talented individual. My first year, I didn't work hard enough, and I wasn't satisfied with like my results and how I performed. I never want to feel like that again, so I'll never let it happen again.
Absolutely. Well, Danny, we're going to take one quick break so we can all catch our breath a little bit. And we will be right back to continue with the final chapter here on Caribbean Connections. Today with Danny Earles, track star here at Memorial University. Stay with us, folks. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
When you wish for something wonderful to happen.
What is the power of a wish?
Sometimes it can make you forget
about the needles and the pain
and get through this thing.
Wishes are what we do.
Forget about being stuck inside. Laugh with my family. Go somewhere really amazing and get through this thing.
The Children's Wish Foundation of Canada. Call 1-888-267-WISH or visit childrenswish.ca today.
Hi, this is Vinod from New York City, and you're listening to Sarojini on the Caribbean Connections.
Beast mode, ain't no G code on the island, but I live by this with my brothers.
Yo, how it go? This your boy Vivi the Only, and you listening to Sarojini on Caribbean Connections. Check it out on the radio or on your app if you got headphones. If you in your car, 93.5 FM. You can also listen in on cable, Rogers, channel 942, Bell Alliance, channel 787. You can even go online, chmr.ca. Bless up.
Gotta get up, get paid with my dogs. We gon' get it all for one for all, like the musketeers. We've been grinding for too many years.
Welcome back. You're listening to Caribbean Connections, and my name is Sarojini. I'm the host of this awesome show. Yes, I get to say that because I am the host.
And it is an awesome show.
Oh, thank you, Daddy. See, my guest says it, so there you have it. Well, folks, we have here in our virtual studio Danny Earles, track star here at Memorial University. And we are in the final chapter here at with our discussion, our beautiful chat, as we like to say. So we're going to pose a few more questions to Danny before we say goodbye. But let's give the mic over to Danny, and we're going to ask him about, after training for about 2 years, how is he feeling today? And Danny, how do you think you are now compared to the very beginning when you first started?
Right, it's definitely very different from when I first started. I mean, one thing is like my form. Like my coach said, I used to run like a ballerina. My feet were down like that, and I don't know. She said that I had a lot to fix. And I think now that I'm like, my technique is like, it's not perfect, but I'm working on getting perfect and like stuff like that. I mean, and just how I feel like towards my mindset, I guess, in life is just completely different. Like I feel like I really have a purpose, which is something, I had a lot of trouble finding when I was like younger. I never knew what I was going to do with my life, I just thought I'd go to school, get a job, I guess that was all I really knew, but now I know exactly what I want to do, and I just want to be the best that I can be at track.
Wow, that's fantastic to hear. I mean, you all are still quite young, and to hear you say that, it's certainly impactful on many young people coming up. It gives you a sense of purpose and wants you to do better. Danny, we've had a pandemic for almost 1.5 years. How difficult did you find it during this pandemic training?
Yeah, it definitely was difficult. There's times where I felt really unmotivated, didn't want to get out of bed because no one would like, it was like no one's watching me train, you know, like no one's gonna know if I wasn't training and stuff like that, you know. So it was hard. It definitely was hard, and especially with like no like concrete results, like no one being like, oh, you've improved in this, you know, you put personal best in the, you know, the 60 meter or something like that, you know. Like it was hard. It definitely was hard, and you just had to power through and stick through it, and you know, just stay dedicated to the craft, because you know, when the pandemic's over, you know, we're back to it, and like I don't want to feel like that I didn't do anything. We gotta improve. You have to improve, and you know, I'm glad that I did. I improved a lot over the pandemic, actually, a lot more than I thought I would, which was great for me to see. And just to get back into practice, things starting to feel normal again. No, I can't be more happy about that.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's fantastic to hear, because especially at the beginning of the coronavirus, people were still trying to find their way around, and Memorial was shut down. Classes were online.
Yeah.
So how are you juggling classes? Well, we are on a break now from courses.
Right.
But when you were at school, how did you manage juggling your courses, your studying, and this intense training?
Yeah, well, I'd say my first year, I struggled a lot. You know, I found just studying, you know, after practice, I just want to go to bed, stuff like that. It was just really hard. You know, my grades weren't the best. But you know, when second year came around, and it was online, it was a lot different. But you know, I think that I really figured it out how to balance it all. Like, it was just what it is just not just going out and doing it. It's just knowing what you're going to do and when you're going to do it. Like, that helps a lot, because I mean, there's only 24 hours in a day, and they go by a lot quicker than you think. You know, like you got to use it wisely, especially if you got to juggle. Like, you can't have bad grades, and also can't be performing bad and then the track. So just got to make sure that I'm doing both things right.
Well said, Danny. It takes a while to iron out all the wrinkles, but I see you've really come around and you got it down pat now. So what are your sights, your vision for the future with track?
So my vision for the future, you know, I definitely want to leave a mark, you know, especially for Newfoundland. You know, the track community is not very big here, and you know, I would definitely like, you know, if I could go and do something, you know, maybe as a pro or an Olympian, or need be just a great college athlete, you know, either what it is, you know, like I would just love to see the sport here grow, and just to leave a mark, you know, not just for track, but just for myself to look back on and know that I did what I did, and then why I know exactly why I did it, you know.
Absolutely. And I mean, not only are you saying you're more focused, say, compared to when you first started, going almost 3 years now, but you actually have a vision of what you want to complete, or where you want to be. Am I right in saying that?
100%.
So with the up-and-coming budding athletes that want to have a future with track, what are your words of wisdom, young man, to the group coming up after you?
I'd say my words of wisdom is one thing is, don't let yourself get discouraged, because, you know, you got to make sure like you're enjoying it, and it's easy to get down on yourself, but you know, it's also pretty easy, you know, you just to bring yourself up. And I know one thing, like you gotta be really serious about it, because I'm sure no pro athlete was ever not serious about what they did. You know, maybe a couple, but they were just freak athletes, and they were just blessed to be able to do that. But you know, you gotta make sure you have fun when you're being serious too, because I mean, you can't go out and, like, I wouldn't be able to go out and go to practices all week and go to the gym and wake up in the morning if I didn't enjoy what I did. There's no way that would happen. But you got to make sure that you love what you're doing, and that you stay dedicated, serious about it, and just make sure you know what you're gonna get yourself into, and just to stay dedicated to it. You know, it's pretty simple, but it's a lot harder than it sounds.
Yeah, and I mean, look, a lot of the young kids coming up, sometimes you hear them saying, "Oh, I want to." Like you said at the beginning, I want to party with my friends, see my friends on the weekend. I don't have time to go to all these practices. But would you not say you're still finding the time to have time with your friends. You're making the sacrifice for track, but you've repositioned things in your life. You've set your priorities straight so you could still spend that time with your friends. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'll just make sure I get everything done I need to do, and, maybe I'll go to my friend's house, just play some video games, watch a movie, something simple like that. It's really nice to just unwind sometimes, too, and just not forget about things, but just relax. It's really nice, I got a great set of friends. They're all really supportive of me, and, they definitely keep me in line, too, I got a girlfriend, too. She's great, She definitely helps me, focus and do what I need to do. I definitely got a great supporting cast. I mean, some other people too. At Atlantic Pro Sports, my gym, I got a trainer, John, and I never really worked out until July of last year. I worked out sometimes in the gym, but I didn't know what I was doing. I was just lifting heavy weights, and I didn't really know what I was doing. But John, he's an insanely good kinesiologist, and man, he knows a lot of things, like things you never think someone would know or know what to do. He can get it done. And he's definitely been another really good coach in my life, for sure.
I can surmise by saying this is a real team effort here.
It is.
And it goes for all the athletes. It's not just one or two individual, our parents, our family, friends, but it's a team that will definitely make us who we want to be in this world of rising track stars.
Yeah, teamwork makes a dream work, you can't do it all by yourself, and you got to make sure you surround yourself with people that, they believe in your vision, because, I don't want to be surrounded by people that don't believe in me, and I know that every single person that I'm involved with is 100% all in on me, and it's motivating. So sometimes, for example, I don't want to let them down, because if I'm not giving it my all and they are, what are they even doing? I'm just wasting their time if that's the case, right? Mm-hmm. And that's something I never want to do.
Can you see yourself coaching younger folks one day? How do you feel about that?
I would love to coach people. Yeah, I definitely will. After I'm all beat up and bruised, can't run anymore. Yeah, I'll definitely love to pass the torch to someone and just coach a group of kids. I would love it.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic to hear. I love it. And I think you've got a pretty good vision, Danny, and you're very focused, and you're certainly on the right track. No pun intended. But we just had to say that. So here we are, almost to the end of the program, and I know you're a busy guy and you've got to go, but I really do want to thank you for your time. But before I let you off the hook here, in 3 words, if you were to summarize being a track star, 3 words that come to mind right away, what are they? Okay, so I'll give you about 10 seconds to think about it. Anything that comes to mind. It could be about food. It could be about sacrifice. It could be inspire. Just 3 words. When you think of being a track star and achieving your goals in track, what are 3 words that come to mind?
I guess work hard every day. 3 words, because a lot of the stuff, it's not hard to just run in a straight line and turn left, to just go out and do what you have to do every day. Just gotta stay dedicated. I've probably said that, maybe 10, 15 times in this interview, but it's as simple as that.
And I couldn't agree with you more, Danny. It has been certainly impactful for us here on Caribbean Connections, and I know our listeners thoroughly enjoyed this beautiful chat. I want to thank you for your time today and sharing the story, telling us and enlightening us about what it means to be a track star. And I hope that you enjoyed yourself, and I want to thank you for your time again, Danny.
You're welcome, and thank you very much for having me. It was an absolute pleasure, and I would love to do it again.
Oh, we can certainly arrange that. We will make the sacrifice,
we will.
like you said. So, folks, this brings us to the end of this terrific chat with Danny Earles, track star here at Memorial University. And we want to thank Danny again for his time. So, hang tight, don't go away. After these PSAs, we'll be right back to listen to some more Caribbean vibes. So, Danny, you want to say goodbye to our listeners?
Goodbye. Thank you for listening.
Awesome, guys. Thank you for your time, and we certainly hope you enjoyed today's chat with Danny Earles.
Don't do drugs at all or drink alcohol underage, cause it will ruin your life.
But seriously, don't.
Don't drink and drive. Also, don't do it high unless you want to die.
And again, seriously, don't.
Goodbye.
This public announcement is brought to you by CHMR 93.5 FM.
Don't give up the fight. Preacher man, don't tell me heaven is under the earth.
Hey, it's Matt Davis.
I'm Jackson.
And I'm Matt Lang.
You're listening to Caribbean Connections with Sarojini at CHMR Radio 93.5 FM, Bell Alliance 787, Rogers Cable 942, and CHMR.ca.
Stand up for your right. Come on, get up, stand up. Stand up for your right.
We want to thank Danny Earles for this fantastic interview today. Thank you, Danny. And we want to wish you all the best in your upcoming races and gearing up for the future Olympics. You can do it, but we know it. Thank you so much, and we hope all of you had a grand time as we did here on Caribbean Connections. Stay tuned. Don't go away. And here's your cricket report for August the 5th, 2021. After an overwhelming victory by the West Indies in the T20 series, the Australians were looking for redemption in the 3-match ODI series played in Bridgetown, Barbados. With solid performances from the top order, spearheaded by a century partnership between Alex Carey, 67 runs, and Ashton Turner, 49, Australia reached a respectable score of 252 for 9 in their 49 rain-reduced overs. Hayden Walsh Jr. was brilliant with the ball, finding prodigious turn on the Kensington wicket and had career-best figures of 5 for 39 in 10 overs. Alzari Joseph and Akeal Hussain provided excellent support with 2 wickets each. Mitchell Starc and Josh Hazlewood took the new ball for the Aussies, and they both made an immediate impact as they decimated the West Indies top order, reducing them to 27 for 6 in the first 8 overs. A half-century from Kieran Pollard was a futile gesture as the Windies lost by 137 runs. The West Indies bowlers were able to hold Australia to 187 runs in the second match, with Joseph and Hussain each picking up 3 wickets. There were some tense moments when the Windies lost 2 early wickets in reply, but Nicholas Pooran scored 59 not out and guided the recovery, first with Shai Hope, 38, and then with Jason Holder, 52, to take the West Indies to a series leveling 4-wicket victory. The final match began with Evan Lewis being forced to retire hurt after taking a bouncer on the grill of his helmet. He eventually did return and proceeded to score 55 not out, but with the next highest score being just 18, West Indies were dismissed for a subpar 152 runs. With no reason to take any chances and no West Indies bowler being able to produce a career-defining performance, Australia romped home with a 6-wicket win off just 30 overs to claim the match and clinch the series. It might appear to be a close series, but Australia was much the better team. The West Indies were easily outplayed in both matches that they lost, while the match they won was much closer and could have gone either way.
Run it! This one the hit, yo. Lady Sarojini. Bless up everyone. This is Troy and Ben from Jamaica here representing for the host, Lady Sarojini with the Caribbean Connection Show. Hey, Panwa, 93.5 FM, CHMR 11.
Pardon me, I'm a criminal, so get on your searching. But let me tell you though, if you never know, I'm an island man with an African culture. No drugs, no in my bag.
Hey, thank you so much for tapping into today's broadcast of Caribbean Connections. We were indeed very honored to have Danny Earles from Memorial University, track star, here on Caribbean Connections today. We hope you had a great time as we all did. Please join us again next time, same place, chmr.ca worldwide, 1 p.m. in Newfoundland, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. And please continue to take care of yourselves and of each other. Stay well, stay healthy, and be kind. So we're going to have the Caribbean group Chronics to take us out today here. And this is Champion. Bye for now.
Life has its way of turning the gray skies blue. Oh yeah. But sometimes the skies come tumbling down on you. But of this one thing I'm sure, Judge, I never give I more than what I can bear. Sometimes the road get dark and it feels like no one cares. Friends and family, they are gone, but I will overcome, cause I am a champion, my brother. I'm a champion, my friend. Mama, dry your tears and move your hand from your head. Never wear a phone because Jaja not dead. Trust in every word where Selassie say. Leaning on Marcus philosophy, cause sometimes the skies come tumbling down on you. But of this one thing I'm sure, Jaja never give I more than what I can bear. Sometimes the road get dark and it feels like no one cares. Friends and family, they are gone, but I will overcome, cause I am a champion, my brother. I am a champion, my friend. So all when I'm hungry and edge I teeth, I stand up on me own 2 feet. Me nah make no trouble, come and get rid of me. I fight it like a champion, Muhammad Ali. But that no mean I'm a go do no folly. Rasta man and a Satan little puppet dolly. Push on pon the straight and narrow like a chally. Her goodness and mercy I follow back on me. Jaja never give I more than what I can give.
Sometimes the road get dark. Oh boy. Friends and family they are go, but I will overcome. I am a champion, champion, my friend. Judge I never give I. To all my people out there, round the faith. Now listen what the pagans say, what old Satan say. Go on hold the faith, go on hold the faith. Church I never give I more than what I can bear. Sometimes the road get dark and it feels like no one cares. Friends and family, they are gone, but I will overcome. Cause I am a champion, my brother. I am a champion, my friend.
Run it! This one the hit, yo. Lady Sarojini.
Bless up everyone. This is Troy and Ben from Jamaica here representing for the host, Lady Sarojini with the Caribbean Connection Show. Hey, Power 93.5 FM CHMR 11.
Not pardon me, I'm a criminal, so get on your searching. But let me tell you though, if you never know, I'm an island man with an African culture. No drugs, no in my bag.
Yes, we're jamming with Sarojini on Caribbean Connections, 93.5 FM, CHMR.ca.
Don't give up the fight. Preacher man, don't tell me heaven is under the earth.
Hey, it's Matt Davis.
I'm Jackson.
And I'm Matt Lang.
You're listening to Caribbean Connections with Sarojini at CHMR Radio 93.5 FM, Bell Alliance 787, Rogers Cable 942, and CHMR.ca.
Stand up for your right. Come on, get up, stand up. Stand up for your right.
Oh yeah. Your bumper is a magnet. I stick on like a magnet.
Yeah, it's magnetic. Join Sarojini on Caribbean Connections, Thursdays at 1. Walk through the sands with poetry from our great leaders and academics. Jive with us to soca, reggae, chutney, and calypso. Get your current cricket results, meet special guests, and more. Every Thursday, 11:30 Eastern, 1 p.m. Newfoundland time.
Welcome, come on in everyone, and welcome to this episode of Caribbean Connections. Well, today I thought I'm going to record this episode on my deck. It's just such a gorgeous day, guys. I really do feel like I'm in the Caribbean, so bear with me if you hear wind and other noises, birds and pets outside. Do forgive me, but I figured it is still a virtual studio here, but it's just too nice to be in. I want to welcome you all listening here on the island of Newfoundland and in Labrador, in Toronto, Regina, Saskatoon, Calgary, Vancouver, Roberts Creek, the Wilhelms, hello, and in Maple Ridge to the Richards. How are you guys? Thank you for joining me. Crossing over to New York, Connecticut, Washington, D.C., and over to New Delhi and Warnemünde in Berlin, Germany. Big up in the Caribbean, in Guyana, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. the Bahamas, Nigeria, and to all of you listening from far and wide. Welcome, welcome, and welcome. So, of course, moving on with some Caribbean vibes, we want to continue with the one and only Richie C. We're going to play some more of his great music, and let's start off today's episode and usher in the great big sounds from Richie C. And this is Aretha Franklin's 1980s classic, Come to Me.
Forget my own and let you go. Darling, I won't raise a hand to stop you. Just let me say one thing before you go. Come to me whenever you get lonely. Just reach out a hand and there I'll be. My love will light your way out of your darkness. If you ever need a true love, come to me. I believe time alone can change you. The changing tides will bring you back to me. So when you're tired chasing rainbows, just make a wish for love and there I'll be. Come to me whenever you get lonely. Just reach out a hand and there I'll be. My love will light your way out of your darkness. If you ever need a true love, come to me. Ooh, ooh, oh. You asking me to understand your feeling, to forget my own and let you go. Darling, I won't raise a hand to stop you. Just let me say one thing before you go. Come to me whenever you get lonely, pretty baby. Just reach out a hand and there I'll be. My love will light your way out of your darkness. If you ever need a true love, come to me. Come to me. Oh. Just reach out a hand and there I'll be. My love will light your way out of your darkness. If you ever need a true love, come to me. Come to me whenever you get lonely. Just reach out a hand and there I'll be. My love will light your way out of your darkness. If you ever need it. Ooh, baby, how lady, yeah. It's hard to be away from the one you love when your days are slowly drifting by. But my darling, I'll be home in your arms where I belong. So I'm sending you this poem from my heart, yeah. Dream of me when you're lonely. Dream of me when you're sad. 'Cause darling, I want you only. You're the sweetest, sweetest girl I ever had. Although we are many, many miles away, you're always in my aching heart. But my darling, I'll be home in your arms where I belong. So I'm sending you this poem from my heart, yeah. Dream of me when you're lonely. Dream of me when you're sad. Darling, I want you only. You're the sweetest, sweetest girl I ever have. Oh, no, baby. Ooh, yes, 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 my lady. Woman, I love you. Woman, I love you, yeah. Oh, it's hard to be away from the one you love when your days are slowly drifting by. But my darling, I'll be home in your arms where I belong. So I'm sending you this poem from my heart, yeah. Dream of me when you're lonely. Dream of me when you're sad. 'Cause darling, I want you only. You're the sweetest, sweetest girl I ever had. Ooh, oh baby, oh, oh lady, yeah. What if I never knew? What if I never found you? Never have this feeling in my heart. How did this come to be? I don't know how you found me, but from the moment I saw you, deep inside my heart I knew, baby, you're my destiny. You and I were meant to be. With all my heart and soul, give my love to heaven whole. And as far as I can see, we will always meant to be my destiny. Hey. I wanted someone like you, someone that I can hold on to, give my love until the end of time. But forever it's just a word, something I only heard about. But when you say forever, I believe. Baby, you're my destiny. You and I were meant to be. With all my heart and soul, give my love to heaven hold. As far as I can see, we will always meant to be my destiny. My destiny. Whoa, whoa, yeah. My destiny, baby, my destiny. Listen, I wanted someone like you, someone that I could hold on to, give my love until the end of time. But forever it's just a word, something I only heard about. But know you're always there for me. When you you say forever. I believe, baby, you're my destiny. You and I were meant to be. With all my heart and soul, give my love to heaven all. And as far as I can see, we will always meant to be. My destiny, my destiny, my destiny, oh, my destiny, yeah.
So, opening up this terrific segment, we had more vibes from Richie C, starting out with Come to Me. Then we heard Hard to Be Away, and of course, capping it off was My Destiny. Thank you for hanging out with us, guys. It really means a lot to me and to Caribbean Connections. But we're going to take a quick break to hear some PSAs and some beautiful promos of my colleagues and other hosts here at CHMR and some IDs. And we will be right back. Stay with us. Don't go away.
Volunteering. It can begin with the simplest of gestures. A gift of time, energy, commitment. Something precious that grows stronger with every hand that touches it and grows across communities and through the very fabric of our nation and begins, once again, with the simplest of gestures. To Canada's 6.5 million volunteers, thanks. A message from Volunteer Canada, the Government of Canada, and this station.
Planting trees in our community is well worth the effort. But if you don't look after them, they may not make it. Urban trees need a little maintenance to survive. Not much. Your extra care will help replenish the urban forest and give us all something we need. Fresh air. Thanks. Help Tree Canada grow clean air. Support Tree Canada by visiting us at treecanada.ca.
When you wish for something wonderful to happen.
What is the power of a wish?
Sometimes it can make you forget
About the needles and the pain.
and get through this thing.
Wishes are what we do.
Forget about being stuck inside. Laugh with my family. Go somewhere really amazing and get through this thing.
The Children's Wish Foundation of Canada. Call 1-888-267-WISH or visit childrenswish.ca today.
Hey, this is Dean from Collective Soul, and you're listening to 93.5 CHMR.
Oh, I'm newly calibrated. All shiny and clean.
Tune in to Modern Jazz Today, a weekly show that focuses on today's jazz improvisers and creators, cutting their teeth and cutting the edge of sound. Join us as we explore what's new, what's groundbreaking, and where it's happening. Mondays from 2 to 4 p.m. on CHMR 93.5 FM.
It's the beginning of the work week. You feel stressed out, stuck in a long line waiting for your cup of coffee, and you're caught in a manic rush of traffic. What do you do?
The answer is on CHMR by tuning into the Celtic Wake Up. Join Zach Snow every Monday morning from 8 till 10 for the best in Irish and Newfoundland traditional music. Start your work week off the right way with the Celtic Wake Up. Mondays beginning at 8 a.m. on 93.5 CHMR FM or online at chmr.ca.
শহর তলি জুড়ে গলির মোড়ে মোড়ে তোমায় নিয়েই গল্প হোক
তোমায় নিয়েই গল্প হোক শুনতে কান পাতুন প্রতি শনিবার সেন্ট জনস সময় দুপুর 1টা থেকে 3টা, টরন্টো সময় সকাল 11:30 থেকে দুপুর 1:30 এবং বাংলাদেশ সময় রাত 10:30 থেকে 12:30। থাকছি আরজে রিভু শুধুমাত্র CHMR 93.5 FM এ।
This is Vinod from New York City, and you're listening to Sarojini on the Caribbean Connections.
And here's your women's cricket report for July 22nd, 2021. The West Indies women welcomed the Pakistan women to Antigua for a 5-match ODI series. And after the first match at the Coolidge Cricket Ground, the West Indies were off to a good start, thanks mainly to a brilliant all-round performance from Captain Stephanie Taylor. Good innings from Naidadar, 55, and Aisha Zafar took Pakistan to a respectable 205 for 9, but Anisa Mohammed, Shamilia Connell, and Taylor's 3 wickets for 29 kept the total within reach. A captain's knock of 105 not out from Taylor, her 6th ODI century guided the West Indies home to a 5-wicket victory. West Indies spinners led the way in the second match as Mohammed, Karishma Ramarak and Hayley Matthews combined to take 8 wickets in dismissing Pakistan for a paltry 120 runs. Mohammed was the pick of the bowlers with 4 wickets for 27 runs. A 65-run opening partnership between Matthews and Kishona Knight was the foundation for an easy 8-wicket victory in 31 overs. The teams moved to the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium in North Sound for the 3rd match, and the change of venue helped the visitors just a bit, as Omima Sohail racked up 62 runs to lead Pakistan to a respectable 182 runs. Once again, Anisa Mohammed spearheaded the bowling attack, taking 3 for 25 with 3 wickets from Chanel Henry and 2 from Matthews. West Indies started strongly with Matthews and Knight combining for a half-century opening stand, but it was the 106-run second wicket partnership between Matthews and Brittany Cooper which sealed the deal for the Windies as they rummed home in the 40th over for an 8-wicket win. Matthews picked up her second ODI century in the penultimate over to finish on 100 not out.
Well, all original cricket fan and all West Indian and wave for the hand, man. Tell them have some little put together team around the world and talk about them want to contest the big WI. I don't tell you. Yo, where you come from? Where you come from? Wave for on, wave for the world.
What island we come from? West Indies. Answer the call. West Indies. Come let me show them. West Indies. Come rally on. West Indies. What island we come from? West Indies. Answer the call. West Indies. Show them we culture. West Indies. Come rally on. West Indies.
I told them want to play cricket, but you take all them wickets. Any team tells you know we're going to wreck it, and we batsman them all select it. 6 or a 4, you know we're going to make it. And him bowl LBW. He want make a run and we bowl him for ducks. Bowl him for ducks and him run out of luck. West Indies will get the gold cup.
What island we come from? West Indies. Answer the call. West Indies. Come let me show them. West Indies. Come rally on. West Indies. What island we come from? West Indies. Answer the call. West Indies. Show them we culture. West Indies. Come rally on. West Indies.
I mean,
show them how you just do it.
Yeah.
Come white, show me your want it. Hands in the air whenever you feel
Don't
it.
make them know.
This is we time.
And him bowl and we lick it for 6. We get the 6 and the people.
It's a glorious hit. Not the first one that he's hit. Played some lovely shots. Marlon Samuel brings up his 50. 54 of 46. The strike rate steadily improving. drilled. And again, he doesn't get the Yorker right. This has been a superb innings from Samuels.
Becomes their real asset. On a nervous day, nervous night.
It was just a flick. Just a flick off his feet, Marlon Samuels. Gone way into the stands. Just look at the way he maneuvers himself. He's hit that one hard. There's a fielder down there. It's going to be out court. Yep, another one out. They can't hit sixes, can they? Throw in, trying to go offside. Finding the edge of Badri's fingers. Complete turnaround in this match. And the dances are coming out. Rung style, Chris style. And just some style. Not far enough, I don't think. Not far enough, comfortably. And Samuels adds something to the wickets column. In addition to the runs, the vital runs, the match-winning runs that he scored, they're dusting it off. They're dusting him off for the man of the match. Keep him clean. And the people love it. And him goal and we lick it for four. Lick it for four and the ball on more. Well, Sri Lanka have actually looked really good throughout the tournament. This is the moment. This is the moment. It is the moment. The West Indies have won the 2012 World T20. 47 runs the margin.
If you're ready to get on board, say yeah. If you're ready to wave your flag, say yeah. If you're ready to show them how, say yeah. So jump, bossy, wave, bossy, jump. Tyler, we come from answer the call. Come, let me show them. Come rally on. Tyler, we come from answer the call. Show them we culture. Come rally on. Tyler, we come from answer the call. Come, let me show them. Come rally on. Tyler, we come from answer the call. Show them we culture. Come rally on.
And here's your cricket report again for July 22nd, 2021. And this time we are aiming for the West Indies men, so here goes. An amazing comeback by the West Indies allowed them to start their 5-match T20I series against the visiting Australians with an amazing victory at the Darren Sammy Stadium in Grosse Islet, St. Lucia. Lyndall Simmons and Simran Hitmyer scored 20s, but an outstanding innings of 51 off 28 balls from Andre Russell, his maiden ODI half-century, took West Indies to a subpar total of 145 for 6. Josh Hazlewood was unplayable, taking 3 for 12, while Mitchell Marsh took 2 wickets. Australia were cruising to victory at 108 for 4, with Marsh well set on 50 and needing just 19 runs in 57 balls, while Hayden Walsh Jr. and Obed McCoy ran through the Aussie lineup with brilliant spells of bowling. McCoy finished with 4 wickets for 26, while Walsh claimed 3 scalps. Simran Hitmyer played arguably his best T20 innings, well-paced and thoughtful, to score 61 off 36 balls and lead West Indies to a very competitive 194 for 4 in the second match. Despite Marsh's 54 in reply, Australia never seemed likely to chase the total down. And thanks to some excellent bowling from Walsh, who took 3 wickets, they were dismissed for just 140 runs to give the West Indies an easy 54-run victory. Australia's batting failed them again in the third match, as they were only able to muster 141 for 6, with Aaron Finch and Moises Enriquez scoring 30s. Walsh continued his good form, with the ball taking 2 for 18. After ordinary performances in the first 2 matches, Chris Gayle showed a touch of the old universe boss magic as he hammered the Aussie bowling attack for 7 sixes and 4 fours to amass 67 runs off 38 balls. Along the way, he became the first person to score 14,000 T20 runs, more than 3,000 runs more than the next closest batsman. With 2 matches still to come, West Indies have already clinched the series and can now look to experimenting with some new tactics and personnel in preparation for the T20 World Cup in October.
It's that time again. The biggest party in sport is back. The defending champions is back. TK, are you ready? East, west, we're the champions. North, south, we're the champions. All, both, we're the champions. So we tell them this. We say east, west, we're the champions. North, south, we're the champions. All, both, we're the champions. So we tell them this. Hey, you know that we run the road. Represent the country when we born them out. That's how we born them out. Hey, we stop them out one by one. The other teams can't touch me 'cause we born them out. That's how we born them. So we them for 6. Yes, right them for 6. No set them I get licked. So we them for 6. Yes, right them for 6. No set them I get licked. So we them for 6. 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. Tell them we ain't them for 6 and no set them I get licked. So we tell them, you know that we run the road. Represent the country when we born them out. That's how we born them out. Hey, we stop them out one by one. The other teams can't touch me 'cause we born them out. That's how we born them. Tell them it's the wicked, 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 wicked. Still alright, tell them it's wicked, 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 wicked. Super Cooper, tell them it's wicked, 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 wicked. Even Miller, tell them it's wicked, 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 wicked. All I TK ass away. East, west, we're the champions. North, south, we're the champions. All, both, we're the champions. So we tell them this. We say east, west, we're the champions. North, south, we're the champions. All, both, we're the champions. So we tell them this. Hey, you know that we run the road. Represent the country when we born them out. That's how we born them out. Hey, we stop them out one by one. The other teams can't touch me 'cause we born them out. That's how we born them. Darren Bravo, Colin Monroe, Dina Shamden, and Chrislin. Darren Bravo, Colin Monroe, Dina Shamden, and Chrislin. TKR, this is for you.
We will take a quick break and we'll be right back. Thank you for sticking with us, guys. Don't go away.
Hey, this is Rob Trainer from Blackwater Rising, and you're listening to CHMR FM 93.5, Newfoundland's only alternative.
This cage they built for me is unable to contain one news mind is free.
Every second, someone flees their home due to natural disasters. The Arctic ice that regulates our planet's weather is vanishing. That means floods, famine, and more are on the rise. But there's a simple solution, and you have the right to know. My name is Parvati. Please join me in creating a healthy future with MAPS, the Marine Arctic Peace Sanctuary. Get involved at parvati.org, Parvati.org. It literally means the world.
This is the social media news. I'm your friend's kid brother. My classmate Jeff told me that immigrants are coming to Canada to steal our toys. Jeff also says he has a tattoo, but the tattoo artist made him swear not to show anyone. Jeff is so cool.
Social media isn't journalism, so why does our government give billions to social networks while Canadian newsrooms die out? Visit friends.ca to learn more. Authorized by Friends of Canadian Broadcasting.
Lord, it's hard to be happy. My gray cells have seen a better day. My prefrontal cortex is shrinking. My amygdala is wasting away. Does this sound like you, dear hearts? Then tune in to the Soul Search and Rescue Radio Retreat on CHMR 93.5, Saturday mornings, 9 a.m.
Has this ever happened to you at 10 o'clock on a Sunday morning?
Tommy, are you awake? Tommy, what are you doing on the ceiling?
There is no Tommy. Ha 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 ha.
Oh my God, should I call an exorcist?
Foolish mortal, I am Tommy's hangover.
If you or someone you love is possessed of a wicked hangover, then the only way you can exorcise their George Street demons is to tune in to 93.5 CHMR FM at 10 o'clock a.m. every Sunday morning for the Sunday Morning Hangover Cure. It's a medicinal mix of the best in light sounds and easy listening, lovingly prepared to help exorcise even the worst hangover possession. That's the Sunday Morning Hangover Cure, every Sunday, 10 a.m. and only on 93.5 CHMR FM.
Ha 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 ha.
pass my way, I'm tempted to touch. The dress you wear, your perfume, keep me wanting you so much, baby. Now I can't help thinking of you, of all the lonely nights that you put me through.
thank you for tuning in to Caribbean Connections today. Here we are at the end of the program. And I want to thank you for your time. Once again, take care of yourselves and of each other. Stay well and healthy. Be kind. Continue to social distance and do the right things. And as we're heading into the weekend, I'd like to urge all of you to relax, have a good time, enjoy the sunshine, and of course, listen to more Caribbean vibes. Please join us again next time, and we'll be here 1 p.m. Newfoundland time, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. So let's have Richie C. and Tisha Campbell take us out with Don't Let the Sun Go Down. Bye for now.
I can't lie, no more of your darkness. All my pictures seem to fade to black and white. I'm growing tired, and time still stands before me. Frozen here on the ladder of my life. Too late to save myself from falling. I took a chance and changed the way of life. But you misread my meaning when I met you. Close the door and left me blind by the light. Oh, don't let the sun go down on me. Although I search myself, it's always someone else I see. I just allow a fragment of your life to wander free. But losing everything is like the sun going down on me.
I can't find the right romantic lines. See me once, see the